Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode. This is E2, the host of Expand the Fires show. That's right, the guy that likes rock and roll and having a special VIP guests from all over the world. And let me just let you in regards to how this episode is going to go down. I'm just going to say, front and center, this episode is about to get very, very hot and spicy. That's right. So check it out. Our special guest is a very, very nice gentleman. He's a lot of fun. And check it out. He's a pathologist from California living in Bay Area, originally from the west part of India. So Mexico, India, it's gonna get hot, baby. That's right. So he has been in the medicine field since 2002 and in the pathology field from 2010 to present day. Since 2020, he has been completely dedicated to an amazing project called Pathologist, of which he is the founder. Mhm. This project is a consultation platform to connect directly with pathologists. This is something very interesting, actually, and the idea of connecting patients and pathologists is not very new, but the way the framework to execute it is getting ready and getting prepared and everything behind it. It's a very innovative and very interesting. And we're going to find out as much as we can from this very special guest that we have today. So he's got a lot of things to say in regards to his origins, how he started, what happened in the very early days of his career and life. So do not miss out and let's just get started. Our very special guest, Bhaumik Shah.
Thanks, Itu, for the nice introduction. And thanks to Hani and Arvind for the invite. I appreciate you guys a lot.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to listen more about your very very interesting story that we were going over before going live. So tell us your origins of what happened.
Yeah, thank you, for the way, for the brief introduction. By the way, I would like to start with my name. My name is Bhaumik Shah. I'm originally from west part of India. I moved to United States in 2012, and I was invited by Harvard as a scholar. Had a short-term attachment with Harvard for 6 months at Brigham and Women Hospital. Then I was in Cleveland Clinic, Ohio, and then I started my residency at University of Miami. I was trained in fellowship at UCLA Health, and I finished that in 2020 June. And previously, I was trained in India in pathology field as well in New Delhi. I finished my med school in my region where I originally from in West part.
Wow, nice,
So it's
very
been a
nice.
long journey.
Congratulations.
It's been since 2002 September. Yeah, that's when I started.
Wow. Okay, good. And tell us a little bit about your childhood. Like what happened. How was life back then?
I had very humble background. First 17 years, I would say. I barely had any roof. I didn't have any bathroom or toilet or not even study table, I would say. And because we were seven people raised in one single room, well, seven people including my parents. So I'm the fifth and last one of my family member.
Wow.
So it's a struggle when you don't have your own personal space to study and to be able to excel. So I think the basic necessity was the biggest challenge while growing up, and I never thought about that I will get in medicine. In 10th grade, when I scored high and I needed to choose science versus commerce stream in India, I was asking Mom, I'm interested in dancing. Um, and my mom was like, No, you are intelligent. You scored 90%. So why you can learn dancing anytime in the future. You have to become a doctor. And then my father was like, Well, remember I told you in 1994 that there was an astrologer was telling your mom that you will become a doctor? So you have to become a doctor. So I did want to become, but I was not sure how I would manage finances and all that thing, right?
Hmm.
So the first of all, the personal space itself was a big deal. And then the challenge was, even if I have personal space, the finances, because it's not easy in India to get in medicine when you compete with 600,000 and 500,000 student just within one state.
Right.
um, but your mom was like, well, just read from first page to last page. You don't have to have any mentor or any coaching class. You're smart, you can retain anything and everything. So that kept me going. Actually, that worked very well. I actually did
Wow.
not know. I just had all the books and I would read in vacation from first page to last page. I think the biggest hit occurred when during my summer vacation after 10th grade, when my mom was like, why don't you go to do some work, some job, right? So I started job at in one garment garment shop, and I was asked to wipe the mirrors and fold the clothes, and that was really not acceptable to me. And I did not go next day. And I told Mom, I think you're right. I will rather study and go from first page to last page without any doubt. And I will try
Wow.
to go and become doctor. And then rest is history, actually, because that motivated me so much that I actually finished the syllabus ahead of time. It's like if you are trying to go in next grade, the
Mhm.
whole syllabus of the entire year I finished in summer vacation. So that
Wow.
gave me boost to compete with other kids, because I was insecure because I didn't have any mentor, and people pay a lot to all the instructors and mentors in order to compete at national level. So that was my first biggest barrier I crossed, I would say, which helped me to get in medicine in the first place. And the
Mhm.
second challenge was when I was trying to get into my post graduation, when I met with an accident and I could not compete with my colleague in my particular state in order to get into post graduation. Because, if you are in California, you're competing with California candidates in order to secure the seat.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
since I could not maintain myself in competition, I had to sit 1 year. Then I was like, if I'm spending extra time, I need to achieve higher. So then I happened to aim the premier institution of India, New Delhi, All India Institute of Medical Science. You must have heard about Deepak Chopra, meditation guru, etc. They are alumni of my institution. So I'm basically their junior. So
Wow.
it's like considered as Harvard of East, you can say. So that
Wow.
was my biggest challenge second time. And then, of course, moving out from after you finish everything and then you decide to move out of your country. So that was another challenge, because in United States you have to appear for the exam and get license in order to actually secure residency. So then
Mhm.
I did not plan to actually stay in the country in the beginning. I was motivated by Harvard professor when he asked me whether I finished my board exam, because he was considering me as a potential candidate to appear for the fellowship interview.
Mhm.
And I was like, no, I did not, but I'm on it. So I was like, I just said it, I'm on it, because I was like debating that I want to stay in the country or not. But then you have to spend another gazillion dollar in terms of to clear the exam and be certified in the country,
Wow.
which I was not prepared, because when you earn money in Indian currency, it's not easy to invest all of a sudden, and so you need a lot of support. But thankfully, my childhood friends who actually moved to state well before me, they happened to offer me financial help, and with their financial support, I could actually manage to clear all the exams in order to compete for the residency spot, and that I happened to secure in Miami.
Wow.
And just because of my experience back. In India, I happen to secure further good spot in fellowship at UCLA Health.
That is amazing. And that's where you learn a little bit of Spanish in
I learned in
Miami.
Miami. Yes. Hablo poco español, estoy mejorando.
So good, so good. And then tell us, how does being honest with yourself linked in with your path to success?
Yeah, because when, people might say that I know everything, knowledge doesn't help. Knowledge only takes you somewhere. It is how you incorporate your learning in day to day experience that is more important. And learning does not come without being honest to yourself, what you know and what you don't know. Because only after accepting what you do not know, you can grow further. Because any skill one can acquire. Say, for example, before I got into medicine, I did not study in English. I studied in my local language.
Wow.
So I cannot have an excuse, oh, in med school, I would have to study in English and I do not know. And the book's pages are like, 600 pages book in English and you never studied in English. I had secondary subject English, but not that because in India you have an English medium school as well. And many
Hmm.
of the candidates, when they get in medicine, they're actually from that English medium school. So I was competing at not with people from, I mean, student from my local language, but also from English medium in
Yeah,
the country
totally.
itself. So, but I cannot have excuse. Success does not accept any excuse.
Correct.
You have to actually build yourself whatever is needed to achieve that skill.
Hmm.
Now, I cannot say right now, I don't speak English, sorry. So I cannot appear in the interview. I will struggle to say anything in English. But no, I think then it comes naturally after some time. Once you put in your soul and spirit, it comes.
Hmm.
So the honesty and integrity is most important here, where when you know what you require in order to get somewhere, you can just accept dream. Oh, I want to become XYZ person. Like, so for example, if I want to become Elon Musk, what I need to develop in order to become like him, if he's my role model, suppose everyone
Correct.
has some sort of role model. So if you have some role model or some desire to achieve something, you need to just go ground reality, what is required, building blocks, and the people around you will push you if they find you worthy for something.
Hmm.
So nature does not operate. There is no a God who is going to come right now and say, "Oh, I'm going to pull your hand towards success." No, God is within everybody. So if you put in effort, things will materialize. So if you remain honest to your own self, then you can have courage within yourself. You can have persevere. You can have, you can have extra willpower. So everything comes from that. It's a byproduct. You cannot say, "Oh, I want to have a strong willpower." Well, if you go to gym and try to build six pack, you need to have a willpower every day.
Right.
But underlying fact is you need to be true yourself where you are right now. So first, what you need to do in order to be eligible to have a six pack, first of all, you need to reduce extra what you have,
Hmm.
right? So same
Correct.
way, so honesty and integrity is most important, and integrity comes from the honesty to yourself. If
Hmm.
I do not have something, I need to acquire that. How? That's the pathway one is to chalk down. And time is the limit most of the time when people are constrained to time, and then people have issue with the finances, one of the reason I believe that honesty is more important, because people get easily affected by other people around, including their own family members, and they
Hmm.
don't introspect within what they have and what they can nurture. It's not necessary that your brother and sister will know your talent. You can always, if you're interested, you can always nurture and develop your skill.
Right.
That's my take.
That is very important as well as interesting because um, I think that we all know um, a lot of people that have so much potential within, and they aren't as honest, with themselves and saying, I can do it. I should be able to do this, and just face the obstacles and just fight against everything until they achieve it. Right.
Yeah, and that inner voice that I can do it, it does not come easily.
Hmm.
So first of all, you need to develop interest, what you want. If you if you introspect within and then you try to have practical, pragmatic approach, the word is pragmatic approach. You can say that, oh, I cannot become like this because I don't have this and that.
Hmm.
There is always a way. Okay.
Correct.
So once you go small, small success, it accumulates and that gives you confidence and then it gives you inner voice. Yes, I can do it.
Hmm.
Like say for example, in my case, when I was in um, my own little humble background where I didn't have any resources, when I was comparing people around, there was no doctor other than my father who was educated. I could not see anybody I couldn't get inspiration from.
Wow.
So how you can still move on and not get affected by the environment you are in, because everyone gets affected by environment they are in.
Correct.
Like my own brother siblings, when they wanted to watch TV, I did not have any space to go anywhere. So what I used to do, I used to wait until they go to bed and I will study overnight.
Wow.
So you have to find your way. There is always a way. You cannot say all the time, not that they, I mean, they wished best interest for myself, but not that they could manage to support me throughout and continuously, because it is not easy when you are living in one room and then you expect one little kid to study all the time when you cannot even enjoy yourself watching TV. So even TV noise itself was bothering, but I cannot keep telling them, hey, shut down and I want to study. I had to find my way.
Correct.
So that
So
voice always came
courageous.
from yes and no. It's painful when you go through that. It
Yeah.
always looks beautiful and worth sharing only after you
Totally.
overcome. But while you
Totally.
are in the moment, it's frustrating.
It's so painful. I can totally relate to that. I went to the US when I was very young, at 14, and the first day I didn't eat because I couldn't communicate with other people. And I had a month to learn how to communicate, or I was going to be sent back by the people that were taking care of me. So I can totally relate. It's like it's either you decide to make it, and
Yes,
come up with the resources from within. It's only when you're true to yourself and honest and say, okay, I don't know. It's difficult. It's extremely hard
correct.
sometimes, but there is no way I'm gonna fail at this.
Right. I think that's most important that you want, it doesn't matter whether people judge you for whatever you speak, move on. You always take the lesson, move on. It takes time to not get affected completely,
Hmm.
but if you keep telling yourself, you recover quickly.
Hmm.
There's no simple straight medicine you can say, hey, I never get affected by anybody's comment and criticism. Everyone gets affected by everyone's comment. People are sensitive. We humans are sentient beings. So it is okay to get affected, but to hold on to it, that's the that brings misery. So I think
Totally.
you cannot have an excuse that you just cannot. Right now, my situation, what I'm going into, there are bad challenges I have to overcome before I can actually see the fruit of success, right?
Correct. Yes. I think, yeah, I mean, just to second what you say, in my case, I had to make it my own. I had to own the fact that I had terrible pronunciation at the time. Not that I have an excellent pronunciation now, but I get along well and I feel comfortable with the level of language communication that I have now in English, and it's just I just have to make it part of you.
Right.
Don't try to like hide the fact that you come from somewhere
Yes.
else or you have these weaknesses. You just own them and make them a
Right.
thing. And build strength from your weaknesses, because nobody's gonna go around apologizing for you for what you are or
Right.
aren't. You have to become strong, and there is nothing like learning from your weaknesses and make them something that you actually use to push yourself forward. And people are going to look at you once you've conquered yourself.
Exactly.
They're going to say, damn, this kid, he's still going at it. I think I'm going to help him. I actually like this little Mexican running around, trying to do his own thing. And then I've made so many dear friends, but just stop faking, and just
Yeah,
being what I was at the moment.
and at least in United States, I have noticed there are a lot of fake people. It's not that they do on purpose; it's just the way they are tuned.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to generalize any here everything, but you meet across people who you see that they are faking what something they don't have. So
Hmm.
when you mention about accepting and owning up your weaknesses is actually a strength on a long run, because when you grow yourself, you know that you're not never gonna be anxious for something new you try.
Hmm.
And if people recognize your honesty, people will actually lift you and will help you. But if you remain arrogant and fake it, live him. I don't care, right? So
Right.
the
Yeah.
attitude is what matters here. How you handle your own problem. Everyone has to go through some problem.
Hmm.
Life is never smooth, and if it is smooth, then you're not growing. So
True to
you
that.
have to be
Yeah.
the protagonist of your own story. That is more important. You don't have to compare what other person has. That people sometimes feel jealous of. I think one has to take inspiration what that person has and how you can cultivate that.
Hmm.
So you incorporate in your own story to become protagonist of your own story. So you become your own hero. You have to compare yourself with your own past rather than with other people.
Correct.
That's difficult to learn, because you can't stop comparing if you have some people around you which which carry some persona you are attracted to, or some sort of material thing, or some success, or some label. So I tell my nephew always the same thing. You don't have to compare what I am, whether you think that I'm smart. You can also become the same thing. You just need to know how. It's not about retaining knowledge, it's about asking question.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that. But it's
it's a
true.
question.
It's true.
The
Yeah.
questioning ability, because knowledge is free right now. You can Google anything, YouTube, free. Learning is not free.
Right. It
Knowledge is
comes from
free.
within, from an inner desire,
Yeah.
to grow. Hmm.
Yes. It's about incorporating. First of all, understanding yourself is a key.
Hmm.
More you understand yourself, more you understand other people, and more you become humble too.
Hmm.
Because nobody's perfect.
Correct.
Right now, no matter where I am, I can go all the way bottom, hit the bottom. But what will help me survive? The attitude, the learning.
Hmm.
Nothing, material things will not remain with you forever,
Correct.
but the learning will remain.
Correct. Yes, I think it's the I've been talking to all of these business owners and very very successful people, and one thing that just keeps coming up is it's success starts from within. That's where it starts. There's nothing that you can acquire from the outside world, that will make you become the person that you want to become. It starts from right here, from the heart,
Yeah,
from the frame
right
of
from within.
mind. See, and you have to
You,
be brave, you know. Understand that there's gonna be emotion, doubt, suffering, a lot of hard work, but just take it all in as part of the package and throw yourself at it with the fire of passion and let it burn and rise higher and higher every time. Am I right?
yes, very much. There is somewhere I read, I forgot the name of the person. The great time creates weak people. Weak people give tough time. Tough time makes stronger people, and stronger
Mhm.
people again give good time.
True.
So it's a
Wow.
cycle. It's a cycle.
I'm gonna go over that in detail later on after the show. So, before we end off, tell us just briefly, what is your project and why it's so amazing, and most of all, why you're so passionate about
So I'm a pathologist. As a pathologist, we study cause and effect of the diseases, and we make diagnosis for the patient. So right now in the healthcare system, we do not have ability for the consumers to connect with the pathologist directly. And who can explain your diagnosis better than the person who actually make the diagnosis?
it? Right.
Because actual all the clinicians like surgeons and all the specialists, they study symptoms of the patient and order some tests. Back on the back end, we are the one who make diagnosis and communicate with them. So I'm trying to, through this my project, I'm trying to build a service so all the consumers can connect with the pathologist directly in order to understand their diagnosis rather than going around pillar to post to find another doctor, because sometimes they do not understand that second opinion comes from pathologist, not from the doctor they are consulting.
Mm-hmm.
um, so I'm building up that service right now, and it's been another 2 years before I can realize that in for the public.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's such a good, like I can feel, I can tell that you've got like inner fire, just something bubbling, in the inner soul cauldron with all of these project that you have and all the tiny little details and things in preparation that need to be ready. But I
Yes,
think it's
a
amazing
lot
what
of
you're doing.
things.
Hmm.
Healthcare is a very sensitive area where people always consider risk and safety element first. Like if you buy something on Amazon, something doesn't work out, you can always return. But in healthcare, there is no scope for the room. There's directly malpractice lawsuit, right? So
Yeah.
it's in healthcare, anything you launch and implement, it has to be vetted through government, and in order to go through that, one has to have a concrete plan. And in my case, it's a whole new framework because the idea is not very new. People know the need, but they have not thought through how to execute in real world, because we are not part of the primary value chain service. What that means, we patient cannot connect with us directly right now.
Hmm.
To make that happen, you need to reconfigure billing, coding, insurance, all other aspects as well, and payment model. So my project is about this, developing this one single framework which can help you connect with pathologists and other doctors as well. And for doctors, it's more useful where you can have freedom to go and work anywhere in the world,
Hmm.
because right now you are limited by your geographic location where you are. Well, with COVID, everything started a little differently. That now we have online ability, but still we don't mobilize resources online right
Hmm.
now. So this
Correct.
framework has to do with all those components as well.
Amazing, amazing. Well, it's such an amazing project. We obviously wish you the best, which we know you're gonna conquer and succeed on like on anything else you've come upon. And this is your baby. This is your passion. So I can't wait to see it myself and try it because I know it's gonna be amazing. And I just one thing I wanted to say, which when I heard it was very very cool. Non-related to the project though. Tell us what Shaw means.
Well, Shah is a last name which translates to king in literal sense.
Hmm.
That's a Persian last name.
Hmm.
There's a whole different story how that came to my region in India. But the meaning of Shah is king, and it's interestingly my name has meaning which is the Lord of the Earth. So, so I always get the comment, "Oh, the Lord of the Earth and the King." Yeah.
Well, that is amazing. Well, thank you very much, my man Bhaumik King Shaw, for being here with us today. I had a great time with you, and it's just amazing to talk to so many people. And you have you have like this character, You I can tell you're a lot of fun, and at the same time you are like very direct and exact and precise, methodical and logical in your way of thinking. I can hear the mental cogwheels, kind of going, which is amazing. So you are a great guy, my friend. I love having you on the show. I think that everything that you say It's of so much value for the people, and I can't wait for others to see this, to start learning it, and just applying it and sharing it. So it was great, man, and I appreciate your time and your care.
Thank you so much for inviting and for everything throughout the show.
All right, very good. And to all of you watching or listening this, either right now or in the future, just remember that the success is right there. It comes from within. You can reach it, and there are no barriers or anything else that can keep you away from achieving it, except what you don't dare to challenge, look straight in the eye, and go out and conquer like the warrior that you are. Am I right or am I right, my friend?
Absolutely.
All
Anything is
right.
possible. What you can conceive, you can achieve.
There you go. Word from the king. There you go. And with that, we're going to be ending this episode. Thank you very much. Remember to continue following these episodes and channel and show. Check us out at expandthefires.com and let's get rock and roll. Continue in making a change in your life. And do not forget, you are the one that has his own destiny right here in his own hand. You just gotta go and conquer. Thank you very much, my man, and I'll talk to you right after
Thank you.
going out of the show. I want to ask you something very
Sure.
interesting. So thank you very much. Goodbye to you all. Bye bye.